Going on, everybody? So I wanted to go over some qualifying questions, and two of the questions we asked the shipping department, logistics department, and why we asked these questions. So first off would be number one, LTL, FTL volume breakdown. Reason I asked this is specifically I want to look at the LTL and I want to know who they're using, right? So I want to know, say LTL volumes there. Let's just say your target customer is they need to be doing 10 shipments a week, bare minimum LTL. Why I asked that, and then who I want to know who they use, because I'm going to ask, is it LTL direct, carriers direct? Is it 3PLs, or is it a mixture? Question two, what is your process for receiving? So once you receive like a PO, that's what I'll ask is, when you receive like a purchase order or PO, what's the process look like for, quoting out to booking to tracking or finally getting that shipment out the door? Now, why do I ask these questions? Well, asking these questions, it's going to uncover a couple things. It's going to uncover if they have a manual process. So when you ask that question, walk me through your process from, when you receive that PO all the way to when that shipment's out the door. Let's just say they say, well, again, it ties into that second question, or that first one. They use multiple different carriers, direct and mixture of 3PLs. Well, we hop on either multiple platforms or we email. You realize that it's a manual process, right? You were able to uncover it was a manual process without having to ask, hey, is that a manual process? So you uncovered that the reason for this question. These questions are, we uncovered that is their process manual. Okay. Two, are they using a mixture of 3PLs, carriers direct when it comes into LTL? Now, what's the outcome of having a manual process and using multiple carriers direct and 3PLs with LTL? Well, historically, these two being the biggest selling points in, throughout my career, it's diluting your buying power, right? Especially with LTL. That's going to be able to, attract an executive to say, hey, you're diluting your buying power. So there's a potential value add. You can maximize this company's buying power, specifically if you work for a 3PL with, that has those partnerships with LTL. And then number two is a manual process, right? You're able to potentially eliminate that manual process from having to jump on multiple platforms and spending a bunch of time doing that, where you can just focus and tie it all into one platform. If you have like, for instance, as simple as a cloud-based TMS to jump on that platform, you still get the diverse profile of carriers, but it's just going to be all through one portal versus however many portals there are. So I wanted to break down a little bit more on why I asked these questions, so you can wrap your head around these things, knowing why you ask these questions and the potential, what you're trying to uncover is crucial, right? And then knowing the value add that this is specifically for companies mainly that have the volume or have the partnerships with LTL and have some type of cloud-based TMS that can offer this solution, knowing that you have that solution to offer them, right? So again, we're not selling anything. We're asking if you were only to have to ask two questions, or you were only able to ask two questions to the shipping department, this would be it. If I was only able to ask one question to the shipping department, it would be number two. How do you walk me through your process from receiving a PO all the way to quoting, booking, tracking to that shipment's out the door? That if I was only able to ask one question. So